Hello, grade 6. How are you? I hope you are doing well. Our topic today is dividing fractions. To divide fractions, we are following these steps. Step number 1, rewrite the first fraction. Step number 2, change the division sign to a multiplication sign. Step number 3, flip the second fraction upside down. Step number 4, multiply. When you flip the second fraction upside down, you are writing that fraction's reciprocal. So, what is the meaning of reciprocal? To find the reciprocal of a fraction, we are writing this fraction but upside down. Look at this fraction, 2 out of 7. To find the reciprocal, we will flip this fraction upside down. So I will write 7 out of 2. Example number 1, I have 1 out of 5 dividing by 1 out of 3. To find the answer, follow the steps. Rewrite the first fraction. So I will rewrite 1 out of 5. Change the division sign to a multiplication sign. Step number 3, find the reciprocal. That's mean flip the second fraction upside down. So it will be 3 out of 1. The last step is multiplication. So I will multiply 1 times 3, it will be 3. 5 times 1, it will be 5. So 3 out of 5 is the answer of the division sentence. Example number 2, 4 out of 6 dividing by 4 out of 7. Follow the steps. Step number 1, rewrite the first fraction. So I will rewrite 4 out of 6. Step number 2, change the division sign to a multiplication sign. Step number 3, flip the second fraction upside down. So I will write the reciprocal. It will be 7 out of 4. Step number 4, multiply. But before we multiply the fractions, we can simplify them by using the greatest common factor. So I will simplify by dividing by 4. 4 divided 4 is equal to 1, and 4 divided 4 is equal to 1. So I will multiply the fractions. 1 times 7 is equal to 7. 6 times 1 is equal to 6. Now I can rename this improper fraction as a whole number or a mixed number. But because this improper fraction, 7 out of 6, has a remainder when we divide 7 by 6, so I can rename it as a mixed number. And the answer will be 1 and 1 out of 6. Example number 3, I have 18 dividing by 3 out of 2. So I have a whole number dividing by a fraction. I can consider this whole number has a denominator equals to 1. So I have 18 out of 1 dividing by 3 out of 2. Follow the steps again. Rewrite the first fraction. So I will rewrite 18 out of 1. Change the division sign to a multiplication sign. So it will be, then flip the second fraction upside down. So I will find the reciprocal of the second fraction. So I will write 2 out of 3. Then multiply. But again, I can simplify this fraction before multiplication. So I will simplify them by using GCF. The greatest common factor here is equal to 3. So I will divide 18 by 3 and the answer will be 6. Then divide 3 by 3 and the answer will be 1. Then multiply the fractions. 6 times 2 is equals to 12. 1 times 1 is equals to 1. So I have 12 dividing by 1 and the answer will be, rename this fraction as a whole number and it will be equals to 12. Example number 4. I have 1 out of 5 dividing by 2. So I have a fraction dividing by a whole number. I can consider this whole number has a denominator equals to 1. So I have 1 out of 5 dividing by 2 out of 1. Now follow the steps to find the answer. Rewrite the first fraction, 1 out of 5. Change the division sign to a multiplication sign. Flip the second fraction upside down by finding the reciprocal. So it will be 1 out of 2. The last step, multiply. 1 times 1 is equals to 1. 5 times 2 is equals to 10. So the answer is 1/10. I hope you enjoyed today. Thank you, grade 6.